descida. Melhor do que a subida, só mesmo assistir a queda.
Ladies and gentlemen, this is how you fall when your Top-rated Plus badge is suddenly stripped away from you. In this video, I'm going to tell you how I lost my Top-rated Plus badge even before I got it. And we're going to also talk about the difference between Top-rated and Top-rated Plus. Is it worth it in 2024? Before we move ahead, please find the subscription button and click on it, so that when we release our next video, you'll be the first to know. Let's go. Now, I think it was in the wake of 2022 that Upwork suddenly hit us with the Top-rated Plus badge status. Now, before then, we only had the top-rated badge as the highest type of badge. Then, I was still top-rated. Now, for you to become top-rated on Upwork, firstly, one thing I must stress is that you need to be steadfast. You need to show that you are different from the rest. Because one of the requirements for becoming a top-rated badge holder on Upwork is that you need to have had a project with a client that is up to $1,000. So if you don't upskill, if you don't show your commitment, if you don't set yourself apart and attempt to build your brand, you may not attain the top-rated badge. Back to the Top-rated Plus story. So when Upwork introduced Top-rated Plus, they also introduced Expert Factor. So it means that then it was 4 badges: Rising Talent, Top-rated, Top-rated Plus, and Expert Factor. Upwork wanted clients to stay longer with freelancers, and they wanted to discourage short-term projects. So those who started working on a long-term project needed to be rewarded. Of course, Upwork also needed to make more money. So Upwork said, you know what? So if you have worked up to like $10,000, we'll give you a badge. So that became another competition for many freelancers, including me. So many people who started with me already had the Top-rated Plus badge, but I was the only one, in my circle, missing out. So I was like,
No, God, please, no, no!
So I started making some moves. I had 2 long-term contracts then going on. So I started moving around to see whether I would get there on time. But this was my mistake. I wasn't patient enough to go through the process, and guess what? I got fired from all 2. Now, why was I fired? I sent a message to my clients demanding that I needed a raise. One of them turned it down and checked and saw that my performance the following week was very weak. I was fired the following month. The other one accepted and looked out to see some improvement in value. None of them came. So they fired me. What are the lessons to be learned from this, my story? The first lesson that you must learn is this: that when you anticipate growth, don't increase your value. Increase the value of the product and service itself in order not to get fired. Now, the second lesson is don't be pressured, because people in your circle have already gotten to where you should be, so you are a little bit, pressured and frustrated, thinking that you deserve it even as much as they do. And lastly, be patient enough to go through fire that you are already halfway through. I was already halfway through the fire. There's already light at the end of my tunnel, but I cut it short because the 2 projects that I was fired from were actually at about $9,000 and some figures, So it was just for me to be a little bit patient, and I would have just gotten through as Top-rated Plus. Now, did I get the badge? Yes, I did. Now, for those who want to get the Top-rated Plus badge in 2024, now the question is it worth it? Yes, of course, it's worth it. Before we talk about the strategy to get the Top-rated Plus, we need to talk about benefits of Top-rated Plus. Top-rated Plus gives you more control over your GSS score. See that some freelancers, once they get to Top-rated Plus, you hardly see them move beyond a certain number. Some people become almost 100% forever. Now, because you have the ability to actually remove some bad reviews from your GSS score. So for instance, if you have an altercation with a client and maybe probably you know that this client is going to rate you badly, even in a private review, if you have a Top-rated Plus badge, you can remove that particular project from your public and your private review. So once you remove it from the calculation of your JSS score, it will not affect it. Secondly, you get invitations to actually submit proposals to jobs assisted by talent specialists on Upwork. The third one is that you get a digest email to make it easier for you to find jobs. Upwork will select some jobs and send them to your email, and then there's faster hourly payment. So instead of you to wait for up to like 2 weeks to get paid, if you're a Top-rated Plus freelancer, your payment comes out in 5 days. And then you have the ability to offer consultations, so you can offer consultations and share expertise with clients, which I've been enjoying even before I became Top-rated Plus. It's also available for top-rated freelancers. And then you have the priority for customer support. Customer support will actually treat your issue before they treat the issue of any other freelancer. Now let's talk about the strategy to actually get to Top-rated Plus. Now, before you get to Top-rated Plus, you need to get to Top-rated. One of the requirements of getting to Top-rated Plus is that you must be a Top-rated. You must have your profile up to 100% complete. You must have a job success score of at least 90%. And then you must have a contract that is up to $10,000. So how do you get to Top-rated? For you to get to Top-rated, you need to build relationships with clients. Upwork manufactures these two badges just to use freelancers to create a long-term relationship with clients. For you to become a Top-rated and Top-rated Plus is for you to apply a bit of emotion in all your projects. Be human, be willing to assist your clients and create a relationship with them. Follow them on LinkedIn. Now, that is one of the strategies for me. By the time I meet up with a huge client, I follow them on LinkedIn. So on LinkedIn, where I make my posts, or sometimes when they make their posts, there's this kind of interaction. So I stay at the top of their minds. This is how I get repeat contracts that will lead into huge contracts. Another strategy that I applied was to deliberately target long-term projects. Now, on Upwork, you see that some clients will put it specifically in the job post or description that they want a freelancer who's willing to work with them long term. Now look out for those kind of jobs, because I'll tell you, they have so many potentials in that kind of job. It might last for up to 1-2 years. Now, once your project crosses 1 year or 2 years, it's already up to $10,000. It depends on how much that your charge is and what category you are into. For some categories, it will take up to like $15,000 to get to Top-rated Plus, and for others, it will take as low as $5,000 or $10,000. So one way to get to Top-rated and Top-rated Plus is to upskill. Add more skills to your skill set. Don't just be the guy who does the research. Also be the guy who writes the project plan. Also be the guy who generates leads. Also be the guy who manages social media. Also be the guy who does, some data analysis. Add more skills to the bucket of leads that you already have. It expands the ability to work on a long-term project. Now, I give you, for instance, I started working on a project that I had to become a market research person. And from there, the client said, okay, now that we have the market research, how do we go forward? So we started looking for leads. I'm also a leads guy. Now, apart from being the leads guy, I'm also a guy that, have some ideas about social media creation. So I was also into that. So I became sort of the project manager for that project, and the project is still on. So you have to expand your areas of expertise so that you can fit into long-term projects. Thank you for staying to the end of this video, and ensure that you click on the subscription button if you found this very interesting. And also, if there are some persons that you think that they should know or see this video, try to share it to them. See you in the next episode. We're going to bring in something even more interesting. Thank you so much for seeing this video. Remember, my name is Franklin. Bye for now.